Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is currently following here the primary expectation actually quite well. We're going to take a look at all three main scenarios that I think could unfold here. We start with the most likely one, then the second likely one, and then the least likely one. So we start with the bearish one, which is the primary expectation. We are following here this move. We have been following this move down, this 5-wave move down. Then had a wave 4 to the upside, hit the target here, came down to a wave 5, hit the target here, and now we are in the wave 4 here in yellow in an overall 5-wave move to the downside. That is again one scenario which I believe is the most likely one because so far it adhered to it very well. Yeah, in the bearish scenario here, I told you already days ago that we could come down to that support level. Yesterday I told you we would probably move up in a wave 4, which we did. After that, come down to either 18,900 or 18,600. We chose the 18,900 that was related to the CPI data release. But you can still see, even though the CPI data accelerated it, it would have probably happened anyway, but it was an acceleration, accelerating factor that made this move happen quicker. And then we moved up also as expected in a larger wave 4 here. And we hit exactly the target area, and we've seen here now a bearish reaction to the maximum level the wave 4 should do. In the previous video, I told you that, let me just double check something here. I think they got distorted a little bit, didn't they? Should be here, that wave 2. I told you that the wave 4, which I have here on the radar. Let's do that again. Yeah, should ideally stop. No, come on, something's wrong here with the touchpad. So should ideally stop at the 50% FIB retracement, so pretty much just below $20,500. If it goes above that, it's probably not a wave 4 anymore, and we need to look at something more substantial. Might then be a wave 1, 2, but the most likely scenario is that it's a wave 4. Now, like magic, we moved up here, touched the 50% FIB retracement level, and now see quite a substantial move down. For me, this small rally to the upside, yeah, that was a corrective rally, and we could now be already in the 5th wave here to the downside. As I said to you in the previous video, best indication for that this is actually happening would be a move, first of all, below 19.6k again, this where this target area began, then 19.2k, and then 18.8 anyway. You know, when we come down to that 18.8k level, that's the swing low then anyway, and then we will probably go down here to first 18.6 and then 17.5. Should we? Okay, so should we move up higher, it is probably not a wave 4 anymore. And then I will unpack here the second likely scenario for you now. So this was the primary. Yeah, so the thing is, if we go above 20.5k, it will be very unlikely it's still a wave 4. Then we would not go bullish. We would we would unpack the other bearish scenario, which is here a so-called WXYXZ pattern, where we would then have a chance to rally to round about 22k, maybe higher, but that would be my first target, 22k. Yeah, the reason also is because what I see here coming to the upside currently is, in my opinion, a bearish rally. It is a corrective rally, and we can see that just here. I mean, I would have to count this, but if I wanted to count as bullish, I would have to go here with a 1, a 2, here another 1, a 2, because you have an overlap, and this again, the retracement very strong, another 1, 2. So again, very much in the beginning, you already have 3, 1, 2 setups. Not really a fan of. So I don't think at the moment this doesn't look bullish yet. So it's a corrective rally, either here in a wave 4 and then wave 5 sell-off, making lower lows, or that WXY pattern, WXYXZ, where we're now in the Z wave, which is a 3-wave move, and where we have a chance to rally higher, yes, but where then at around 22k or maybe a little bit higher, I would expect then the sell-off to start. Explained that in the previous video. all that would do, it would move all this sell-off, these sell-off waves in an impulse to the downside further to the right-hand side, and we would delay the sell-off a little bit. Now, this is for me the second likely scenario, and now we go to the bullish one, which I would only give a low probability. Now, the bullish scenario indicates that we have here the beginning of an impulse to the upside, all the way up to 22.5k. We then came down here in a wave 2. Also, there's 2 bullish scenarios, but I won't make it too confusing. I mentioned them in previous videos. The key for any bullish scenario, obviously, is that we stay above 17.5, 17.6k. But the lower we go, the least likely it will be that this bullish scenario is still unfolding. To not reduce the likelihood much further, we should stay at least above 18.6k. Then we have another chance to run and to rally. And I told you already in the last video that we had a chance here to finish this 5-wave move off, this ABC pattern basically, and in the C wave you have 5 waves, that this here could be a wave 2 low at the low of 18.9k. That from here we could now expect a wave 3 rally. That would need to happen in a bullish scenario, and we would need to overshoot the previous wave 1 high at 22.3k to really give more evidence that this is an actual bull run, and that we are already breaking out to the upside. So technically we can count it like that. Overall, if I zoom out a little bit more, from the low here at 17.6k, we made a wave 1 up, a wave 2 down, here another 1 up, and a 2 down, and we would now expect a 3 to the upside. That should be a rocket start normally, and should really lead to something substantial, and we should make higher highs, and we should get above that 22.3, 22.4k level. Now, the problem that we have at the moment here with the bullish scenario, as I just mentioned to you in the bearish scenario, this here is a bearish rally. So it's a corrective move up at the moment. It's not impulsive. So I have 2 options here. I have the option to say wave 2 has not been finished yet. So either something unlikely needs to happen. Either this is really a 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, which will get unlikely, okay, which is unrealistic. Or what I would actually prefer if we say, okay, we want to, this is how the bullish scenario would work. We could say this was the wave 4. Wave 5 was never finished, and that will give it another chance, but it needs to stay above 18.6k for that. We'll give it another chance then to come down here in this 5th wave, but it would need to stay above this 18.6k level. If we go below 18.6, between 17.6 and 18.6, if we land there, then we still have another chance for another bullish rally, and we have another chance for a breakout scenario to the upside, which would mean we would actually start to break out, and we would have had the low already in at 17.6k, but it will just get even more or less likely, okay? So I think this is how we could make this scenario work. So expect a move down even in this scenario now. But it should stop above 18.6k, and then we have another chance for a rally. But for me, this is the least likely one. Because this was just a corrective move up, and we can even count and just take a quick look if this wave 4 that you have there in white did actually hit any substantial retracement levels. And again, like magic, you can see it hit the 50% fib retracement. We saw that in the bearish scenario anyway, and it shouldn't go above that anyway. It shouldn't go above that, so you can see how the wave 4 again is doing what it should be doing. Question is only, are we in the bullish or the bearish scenario? My view is we are in the bearish one, but I would allow for both options in the current critical phase, because as I mentioned to you before, Bitcoin to the downside, it has completed what it needs to do. All the requirements to complete the correction are over. It's all complete. My targets have been reached and so on. Long-term targets to the downside have been reached. It doesn't need to drop any lower. It doesn't need to make another lower low. But my reasoning is why I say bearish scenario is still the primary, is because we have not yet seen enough bullish price action to the upside. You always want to see the evidence in the Elliott Wave patterns. You want to see evidence by volume, and you want to see certain resistance levels broken. And for me, a very key one is the 23.3k level. All right, that's my view about Bitcoin. Hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.